Tassie Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday at 9 a.m, you can hear what the Bible says about past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook, and today David Maxwell is joining us again, continuing our topic for this week of the Song of Moses. Welcome, David.
Thanks, Jason.
Good to have you back.
It's great to be here. It's good fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, David, we've been talking about the Song of Moses. We started this week's series with a bit of a story about Peter, who had a big change in his life from denying Christ 3 times to then being asked, "Do you love me?" 3 times.
Yes.
And that really was the beginning of his transformation. And then I guess the day of Pentecost was a huge day for him as well.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of it was I think there probably would have been bigger, the preparation for that.
Yes.
And the experiences with Jesus.
Yeah.
In the 40 days after, that he was here, after his resurrection, they spent 40 days. They would have asked him all kinds of things. Jesus would have answered them and answered those questions. And so he did a lot of preparing before the day of Pentecost. And I think the day of Pentecost, he was ready for the infilling of the Holy Spirit. And then, wow, didn't he go forward powerfully after that?
Sure did. And then yesterday we looked at Moses' original Song of Moses.
The victory song.
The victory song after they crossed the Red Sea.
Yes.
What a relief.
Oh, they would have had such a relief.
Yeah. It just makes me wonder when that song got written. Was it as they were walking across, in their heads? So I wonder how it got written instantly.
Yeah. Well, see, Moses was the one that says sang it. So, perhaps he was
Maybe God gave it to him.
He was forming it as he went across.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Sometimes things just come out.
They do.
Not that I write songs very often, but sometimes they do.
Well, we'll talk about that on Friday.
Maybe we will,
Yeah, that'll be good.
So today, what have we got for today?
So today we're going to look at the second Song of Moses. Yesterday we looked at the first one, the crossing of the Red Sea. They delivered from the pursuing Egyptians. But today we're going to look at another Song of Moses that was at a different time. So the first one was at the beginning of Moses, what turned out to be 40 years in the wilderness. It wasn't supposed to be, but that's what it ended up being. So the second one in Deuteronomy is at the end of the 40 years. So, he's already 80 by the time he starts leading them out of Egypt. And now they're almost at the borders of the promised land. So I'm just going to get you to read a couple of verses again. So if you start in verse 30 of chapter 31 and read through to the first 4 verses of chapter 32 in Deuteronomy.
Sure. And we're reading out of the New King James Version again. Then Moses spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the words of this song until they were ended. Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Let my teaching drop as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, as raindrops on the tender herb, and as showers on the grass. For I proclaim the name of the Lord. Ascribe greatness to our God. He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are justice, a God of truth, and without injustice, righteous and upright is he.
So here's another song that Moses writes that's lifting up God's righteousness. Now, this is at the end of the 40 years, and you imagine now all the things that Moses has experienced, the complaining, the rebellion, the God's acts.
Visiting God on the mountain as well.
Oh, yeah, and all the good things, for sure. But you imagine all of those things, the frustrations and everything, the thing that's led him to the point where he now is not allowed to go into the promised land because he disobeyed. He disobeyed God.
He messed up.
He did. Now, I look at it on a bigger picture and I say, well, he ended up going to the real promised land. God resurrected him, took him to heaven. Wow, that was quite a reward. But in front of the people, God had to say, I've got to show that I'm a just God. And so here, Moses is about to leave them. He's about to hand over to Joshua, and there's a different reason for Moses composing this song. two different places, and it's not the same song.
No.
It's two different songs. Now, sometimes we will read in Exodus one version and then like the Ten Commandments, and then Deuteronomy chapter 5 is Deuteronomy actually means the second reading of the law. Okay, so that's what the actual word.
And in those cases, the law is very similar.
Yes,
it's just a repeated version of it. But this time, it's quite a different song.
Very different song. So the first one was about victory, about coming across the river and being freed from their captivity. Really completely freed from the Egyptians. And this time, it's about almost a recap. It's almost a recap on what they've done in the last 40 years and what God has done in the last 40 years. It's more of a story of God's goodness to Israel. And throughout all of those years, the disobedience and all of the things that they rejected God remained faithful. And that's the essence of this passage. Now, it's a very long song. I don't know if you'd like to learn it someday, but it goes for 43 verses, and it's a very long song.
I think some of our church congregations might get tired.
They like maybe 3-4 verses and a chorus. Yeah. This is 44 verses, so I think maybe they wouldn't like this one. But here what we see is it's a reminder of God's goodness in spite of their behaviours. And that's an important thing for us to reflect on as well. In verse 46 and 47, he says to the people, set your hearts on all the words which I testify or repeat or remind you of today, which you shall command your children to obey carefully. And by this word you shall prolong your days in the land which you possess. So there's a few words missed out in the middle there, but that's the essence of those verses. So here, this song is reminding them, before he hands over to Joshua, reminding them, hey, you need to be more careful than we were. Be more careful. Follow God obediently. Yes, he's a good God. Yes, he's a merciful God. Yes, he's a forgiving God. But don't let him withdraw his hand from you. Don't let yourself, go into the sin again, because it was terrible when we did that. That's an essence of what it says. So he's teaching them something through song that he wants them to keep on remembering. Now, do you remember? I don't know if you remember Hector the Cat school safety road safety song.
I think I do have a recollection of it, because I think we're maybe you're just a few years older than me or something, but I've got a vague recollection of it.
All right.
Tell me about it.
What happened was the Department of Transport in Australia wanted to, I don't know the reasons behind this, but they wanted to teach children, they wanted a method to teach children good habits for crossing a road. Okay. And so they created a catchy tune, and this big cat, stuffed cat, with somebody inside it, called Hector, teach it by a song. Now, I'm going to do my best. I wasn't going to sing this, but I'm going to do my best.
Okay. I promise I won't laugh.
Okay. Stop at the curb. Look to your right. Look to your left and look to your right again. Then if the road is clear of traffic, walk straight across the road. Don't run. Walk straight across the road.
Very good.
Do you remember it?
It's coming back. It's coming back.
Someone actually recently wrote, they said, oh, yes, I remember that. You can't say it without singing it. So that's how much it was embedded in their minds. So this was the purpose of the jingle. My mum used to complain that my brother never remember his schoolworks, but he could sing every ad that came on TV. He memorized it. So song is really, really powerful. And it shows that if you want to reinforce a message, sometimes it's really good for that.
So this Song of Moses was sort of a bit like that. It was remembering, it was reinforcing the things that God had done for them, and also remembering what they needed to take with them into the land.
Yeah. And song is very, very powerful to be able to do that. When I went through my training in the Air Force, there was a young man there. We all thought he was a bit a few screw loose in his mind, because he used to walk around singing the stuff we were learning in our aircraft studies, hydraulics and all of that sort of stuff. He was dux of the cause. So song is really powerful. That's what it appears that Moses is doing here for the children of Israel. Sing this song, sing the song of Moses, and you'll remember what you need to do.
The books of the Bible, the only way I can remember those is by
when you used to sing
the song.
Them.
There's a song.
Absolutely. Yeah. So look, there's some things we can learn from this, I believe. Firstly, we should learn from the lessons of others. Someone said once, life is too short to make all the mistakes yourself, so you have to learn from the mistakes of others. I think that's a really good
I think it's much better if you can.
Yeah, and that's what Moses is reinforcing here. Learn from our mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes. Also, he wants us to remember that we should remain faithful to God if we don't want to face the terrible consequences of going through life without God's protection. And when you look what goes on in the world today, we really need God's protection. And so, God is faithful. He'll do all he can to protect us from the worst that life throws at us if we ask him. However, remember that God won't force himself on us. If we don't want to follow him or accept his goodwill for us, he'll let us live the way we want. And, with that, though, we've got to accept whatever comes.
Yeah, there may well be consequences. There will be consequences.
There will be consequences in some way. But if you've had enough of the devil's tricks and constant abuse, you can change it. You can start living a life under God's loving hand of protection today. So if you don't know how to do it, once again, get in touch. We'll do what we can to help.
Awesome. We've got our book offer coming up right after this.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
Today's book offer is called Jesus Wins, a Bible study course. It's by Elizabeth Vieira Talbot. Imagine a couple of loving parents holding their baby in their arms for the first time. Now try to imagine what they would do if their little one was snatched from their arms by a kidnapper who wants to destroy their child forever. If we can understand how those parents would feel, perhaps we can begin to understand something of God's plan of salvation to rescue his children. At the end of each study, you will find a QR code so that you can watch a short video summarizing each lesson. We invite you to join us on this fascinating journey through the Holy Scriptures. And we know how the story ends.
Jesus wins, doesn't he?
Jesus wins. That's our book offer today. Text in the code word TEM11 to 0488 880891. I thought a good song to go out with today is Goodness of God, David.
Oh, that's a good song.
It's a great song to remember how good God has been to us in the past and remember that for the future. So this is Meredith James with Goodness of God. May you encounter Jesus more and his goodness each and every day.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire and darkest nights. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down and surrendered now, I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down and surrendered now, I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me.
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.